Hello there, I'm Lee Suss. This is World of Guns Gun Disassembler, which is a fun little game which is pretty much described fully in its title. It's it's something I saw Lethal Feline playing. He'd been streaming it and then put it on his channel. And it looked like a fun little game. And it's free. It's a completely free game on Steam. And you take realistic models of guns and you 3D models and you take them apart to varying degrees and then you put them back together again. Let me add a disclaimer here first of all as well. When I say realistic models, I assume they're realistic models. My knowledge of guns which begins and ends with things that I've fired at other people in computer games. That's about as far as it goes. I'm no gun nut by any means. I've never even handled a real gun. Air rifles about as far as I've gone, and I'm not particularly obsessed with them. I'm not. I'll get the names wrong, and I'll probably get the part names wrong as well. So if you are angered by that sort of thing, I'd probably look away now and and find someone who knows a bit more about these things, like Lethal Feline. But anyway, I enjoy it, even though I'm not gun obsessed. I enjoy it a great deal. It's a very relaxing game, and I think it tickles the part of my brain that likes viscera cleanup detail as well. The idea of doing a job that might be sometimes complicated and involve quite a few things you have to get exactly right, but it's very satisfying in the end. So there are a number of different modes on here. They go from sort of basic field stripping a weapon down to completely taking it apart, then putting it back together, and then some of the modes require you to only click exactly the right part at the right time, or to do timed actions and various other things. And here's the main screen you can see here. There's lots of different guns on here, well, a few different guns, and you start off with just this one, I think, if I remember correctly, the AK-47. And as you do things, you earn experience points, and that enables you to lock other guns. And just recently, I unlocked the Sten, good old British gun from World War II, and I thought maybe it would be good. It's not going to be a series. It's like a one-off I'm doing here. It'd be nice if you can, come along with me and we'll both discover the Sten together, and you can get an idea of how the game works and maybe get it yourself. So here we go. Here's the Sten. So I've already unlocked it and paid for it, in experience points. You can actually pay real money for this as well if you really want to, but I don't see why you need to. It's pretty easy to earn the points. So there's a series of game modes over here, and you can only unlock some of them. See, the Colt, I've got them all unlocked. But the only thing I can do right now with a Sten is to field strip it, which is the sort of thing where you, if you're not familiar with guns, but basically that means how you would take it apart to a basic level to do maintenance and cleaning, presumably in the field if you were fighting somewhere. You enable you to take the gun apart and clean it just enough without completely disassembling the whole thing. And up here we can see it's only got 50 parts, and it should be easy. So let's give it a go. I should have downloaded the model first, shouldn't I? Never mind. It's just mentioning one of the comments here, there's the different achievements you can get, and Sniper is one of them where you only click the right parts, which is usually, it's just a matter of remembering, really. It's a matter of remembering the order, understanding how the pieces fit together, which is my main interest in the game, really. I mean, I love the engineering aspects of how these basically they're machines, aren't they? Pretty much guns. How the machines fit together. And there we go. I don't know which Sten this is. It's not the Mark 1. I did look up a little bit about Stens before I started, but it's got a basic metal frame. So maybe it's a Mark 2 or a Mark 3 or something. Anyway, so at the moment it's telling us we can rotate the model fully, and you can see the cartridge, the magazine over here. See, I told you I'd use the wrong terms. Magazine over here, and up here we've got a number of different things we can do, pausing and hinting and various other things. But at the moment, it's just the most basic part of the game. This is the bit when you just learn about the gun and how it fits together. It doesn't really matter too much how long you take. And you can see here it's got a little bit of an X-ray effect, so you can actually see the spring that's inside the magazine that pushes the bullets forward. And it's telling us to remove the mag. There we go. And we've only got, although the whole thing's got 50 parts, there's only 10 to take apart in the field strip. So we've taken the mag out. There we go. And we're going to take off the butt. And then you've got the great big spring inside, and which is to do with how the gun fires again and again as an automatic weapon. That comes out there. There we go. For cleaning, these are things that get grimed up with powder and things from the rounds you're firing. There's the bolt handle, the action for there, that comes out as well. Oh, I see. So the actual handle itself comes off. There you go. It's slightly exploded. Let's move that around. The view, and then you can take out the actual bolt, the bit that slides backwards and forwards. And then what we got here, the trigger mechanism cover assembly. So I presume this hides the bits and pieces of how the trigger, like the springs and how the trigger works. 2 screws come out, and there we go. That's as simple as it is for the field stripping. So I presume this will be enough to clean the gun up enough with brushes and various other tools that you have. So now let's put it back together again. So all we need to do here is, yeah, you can see the spring now for the trigger, is do the same thing in reverse. So the assembly goes back on first. Apparently the Sten was designed as a very simple weapon. So very simple to manufacture and to replace parts and repair. And then the bolt goes back in there again. And compared to some of the other guns, you can certainly see that. Then what did we do next? It was the bolt handle, wasn't it? Next, and then the great big return spring. Then we can put the butt back on. Put the butt back on. There we go. And finally, put the mag back inside. Easy peasy. And so for that, we've got achievement owner unlocked owner. Only 50 XP for that. It's the most basic. Let's talk about boosters, which I think you have to buy boosters. I think, and it enables you to increase your. A booster enables you to assemble the gun more quickly. I think, if I'm getting the terms right. They happen on one of the other modes anyway. If you click them at the right time, you assemble the gun more quickly, and I think you get more score as well. Anyway, so there we go. So that's the basic. And now we've got disassembly. And this means taking the thing apart completely. Luckily, we'd have to download it again. It's got the models saved on our computer. So, this is a bit we need to concentrate a bit more. We've got some more options up here as well. X-ray allows you to look inside as well. It's a bit easier. Sometimes also plastic. Plastic makes the gun look very silly indeed. However, there is an advantage to this, which is that it's a bit easier to see which things are separate parts. So I have been able to use that on some of the more complicated guns to help to get apart. But anyway, it's telling us again, as before, to take the mag out. And then we could do that, we could start on this, but I like to work on one piece at a time. Now you can see in here that the magazine has component parts as well. Okay. Now at this stage here they give you hints. You can see things that flash that's going to be taken apart. So this is completely disassembled now. There are no more pieces to take apart with the magazine. This won't happen on later modes, but it helps when you're first learning the gun. Now, when we did the field disassembly is not a bad idea about learning how to do the complete assembly. So let's take off the butt like we did last time. That's probably just one welded piece, isn't it? Yes, it is. And then last time we took out... What did we do first? We took out the spring, didn't we? However, this time we can now separate into further parts. So we can separate the spring from the two parts here, these two parts of the recoil spring, and then the actual spring itself. So that's done. And then we took off, last time we took off this bolt handle, and that draws the bolt partly out as well. But then there's internal components to the bolt. So what have we got here? What's it today? So the extractor. So that's the piece that flips the round. I'm sorry. That flips the casing, the bullet casing out after it's been spent. We can look at operations later as an option to look at how the gun actually physically works as you fire it, which is personally my favourite bit of it as a person interested in engineering and mechanics and things. So that's fairly easy. That's fully disassembled. Now these are new parts we haven't done yet before. So let's do what we did before with the field stripping and just take off the cover. Now what this was doing was covering up the components in here. So we can now take out this spring that connects to the trigger. And there's another spring in here as well. The tripping lever pawl, which is to do with how the trigger creates an action on the bolt over here. Now can we take these out already? There's it's like a little rod. That's the sear pin in there. How do we get to that? Only from this side. It looks like it only comes out on one side. And then the actual sear itself. Come on, out you come. Okay, that's easy enough to remember. And what's this last thing in here? What's that little... Oh, this other piece has come down, look. That's the actual trigger. We can't take the trigger out yet. To get the trigger pin, which is just a rod for the trigger to rotate on, and then the trigger. I hope you're remembering all this. Now it looks like the trigger comes apart in two parts as well, with the tripping lever in this, and then what's this up here? The selector. So I presume that's the selector between automatic and single fire. Okay, so that will just be a matter of, when we get this back in the right order, it's a matter of just working out which parts go first. And sometimes what makes it easier is if you understand, once you've done the next part of the game, which is, well, the part after putting it back together, when you look at the operation, once you understand how different guns work, sometimes it can help to guide you in how to put it back together again, because you know that this part must connect to this part, therefore that one's going to go in first and then that one. It gives a bit of extra understanding. But for now it's just a memory game really. Right, what do we do next? We've got all these springs and coils up here. Well, we can take this, take the whole barrel sleeve off, and then possibly the barrel. We take the barrel off yet? We can. Not always possible in all the guns to do that straight away. Is that one big piece? That's one big piece. Makes sense for the manufacturer. And then we have the front sight, which just slides off. We could have possibly done that earlier. We've got this spring here. It's the magazine housing plunger. So I guess when you stick the mag in there, it's to do with how it clicks in and maybe releases again. There you come. Right. We've only got 6 parts left to find. And it could be, sometimes you can get 6 parts all jammed into one place. So what do we have here? The magazine catch retainer screw. Okay. And we're nearly done. What's this? The magazine catch retainer itself. Well, last few little bits and pieces. And the magazine catch. Is that everything? There's one left. Okay. I presume this whole piece was going to come out then. Oh, it all slides off. Okay, so that slides off of the button. Okay. Congratulations, you've successfully disassembled the model. Achievement unlocked. Technician. 200 points. Very nice. So let's put it back together again. Now this will start in the disassembled mode. So let's try and do what we did last, which was we had the magazine housing off there, and then we had the magazine catch, which goes back on. Let's get a bit closer so you can see it. It was the catch retainer, and then what was the next piece? Was it this one here? I think it was. We can look at the names, so that's the names help as well. Magazine housing plunger, that sounds good. Right, okay. The front sight can probably just go back on now. Then it was the barrel, wasn't it, I think? And the barrel goes on. And then the cover, the barrel sleeve rather, goes on next. Right then. Let's just put the mag back together now because it gets it out of the way. One less thing to look at. Sizing, when you're looking at layers, it can be a bit more confusing where the things are a bit expanded, what goes where. So you can just get them out of the way. And we know we can put these back together, that's fine. We can. So it seems logical maybe that you could put this into here and then put the spring in, but sometimes you really must do them in the right order. So if I clicked on this and then this, it probably wouldn't work. So we've got to put the spring into here first, and then we can put that into there. Okay, now we need to... The trigger was complicated, wasn't it? Let's have a look what we can do on this. I seem to remember this piece, the selector went in. Then it was the actual... Then the trigger's in 2 parts, so we put that back together. And we can put the trigger back in now. And then there was this little pin, the trigger pin that connected to these 2 pieces. That can go in. Right. And what were these pieces over here? I can't wish all of these went in. That looks like it should go into there. It does. Okay, I'd forgotten that one. That's got to go in there as well. But what order do we do these next? Does that simply cover that? No, something else goes back inside here, doesn't it? The spring. There was this little spring. I clicked on the wrong thing there. Went in there, but there's part of the trigger needs to go in, I guess. Yeah. So the sear. Of course, the sear needs to go in. And then was it the spring? On the wrong thing, so that would cause me failures on some of the game states to click the wrong thing, but we're still learning here, so that's fine. So the trigger's in, the sear's in, and then the extractor goes into here. Oh, I see. So the sear pin's got to go in. Then it was this tripping lever pawl thing goes in there. We put these in yet? No, that's the cover for that. So this spring's got to go in first. This is the bit that's only going to cause me some trouble. I think I have to remember. That's the part I'm going to have to memorise. And then the bolt goes in, followed by the bolt handle, and the return cap spring, the butt of the gun, and finally the Mac. Ta-da! There we go. A few false starts there, but most it was fairly easy to work that out. It's not too bad. Unlocked armour, another 200 experience points. Great stuff. Now let's actually look how the... By the way, these are achievements you're picking up over here as well. They're all about speed and which game mode you've completed, and there's also competitive nature as well. You see how fast you can do it, and the daily fastest person, best score, I guess, up there. I'm not too worried about these. It's not the sort of guy I am. This is more for me relaxing and having fun rather than that. So let's look at the operation, how this thing actually works.